performances pre-pandemic shutdown, and AD spoke yesterday on why his guy deserves the MVP over Giannis.
The things he's doing at his age, I mean, he's playing like probably one of his best years. Top team in the West. The things he's able to do on the floor, especially when everybody was saying, he was washed and he should hang it up and all these things. He come back with a dominant performance, and then just to be even in the race, at this age, at this point in his career, and for me to see it every night, and the things he do on a consistent basis, not in stretches, 3 games here, 4 games here, but he does it every night. And he's been doing it his whole career. I think it's a good argument for him to be MVP.
All right, Max. Oh, look who's here. Kendrick Perkins joining the conversation. Always good to have you, Perk. Max, I try to tell myself 35 is the new 25 to make myself feel better, but let's be honest. LeBron is in his 17th season, still playing at an MVP level. You just heard Anthony Davis. Has his argument finally convinced you that the King really deserves the MVP this season?
AD made no argument. There was no argument there. He's old and he's still in the MVP conversation, so let's give him the MVP? No. Look, the MVP should not be awarded in a league where more than 50%, over 50% of the teams make the playoffs, and the best team almost always wins because it's not a one and done. It's a sport where you can run your best plays through your best players in high leverage moments, right? And call that person's number. It's not like baseball where you have to wait for the guy to come up in the lineup again, or football where there's so many guys on the field. In a sport like the NBA where that's the case, and you have a best of 7 series throughout the playoffs, best team wins, and more than 50% of the teams make the playoffs. We should always wait till the end of the playoffs to award MVP. However, that's not what we're talking about. Like, if you want to argue, well, in the end, LeBron's going to win the championship, we don't know that. But let's say that winds up happening. Come to me then and say, who was really the MVP? Well, when it mattered most, LeBron. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the regular season. So let's talk about the regular season. The Greek Freak's team has a better record. The Greek Freak has better numbers, a way higher player efficiency rating, and he's a better defensive player. And by the way, the reason I use PER, it's an imperfect stat, but instead of me hearing from people, well, here are the points, here are the rebounds, here's the assists, etc., PER takes that all into consideration. So it's a pretty good, quick little sketch of a player offensively. The Greek Freak is trouncing LeBron in PER. He is a better defensive player. His team has a better record. So he is more valuable to his team. He's a more valuable player. Regular season. You start from nothing, you have the Freak. You'll get closer to being good than with just LeBron at this moment. Now, here's the final argument. Show me a team in the history of the NBA, of the modern NBA, with 2 top 5 players that wasn't one of the best teams in the conference. If you have 2 top 5 players, you're supposed to be the best team in your conference. That's what LeBron has in LA. It's him and Anthony Davis. LeBron's not having a better season than AD, by the way. They're neck and neck. Yes, if I had to choose who I'd take this year, I'd take LeBron by this much. AD's had a great season. So LeBron, oh my God, it's amazing what he's doing. Yeah, any one of the top MVP candidates, put him with AD, their team's going to be great. But what about his age? This is not a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's not like LeBron's never won an MVP and we feel sorry for him. Oh, let's give him an MVP before he retires. But he'll be better in the playoffs. The playoffs haven't occurred yet. And furthermore, I keep being told, well, this is just a regular season award. The Freak is the MVP of the regular season, period.
Kendrick, you
Max,
go. You the basketball guy.
Max.
I'll relent to KP.
Max, listen. Okay, first of all, you got to have an open mind, right? Anthony Davis, hear this out. Anthony Davis leads the Lakers in all categories except assists when you talk about stats, right? So he could have went in that interview and made a case for himself to be the MVP. But he did for LeBron James. You know why? Because he sees the value. He knows the value of playing with LeBron James. He sees it every night. When he's getting wide open looks, he's like, man, I've never been this wide open in my life. When he's able to post up and LeBron is putting him in great situations where he's able to play one-on-one. AD has had, in the past, he's had to carry the load offensively and defensively when he was with the Pelicans. He faced double teams. he had to really go into his bag to score. Right now, it's easy for him. That's why he's able to exert so much energy on the defensive end, because he don't have to do so much on the offensive end because of the brilliance of LeBron James. Now, here it is, Max. All that what AD said, the only thing you took from it was that he said, because LeBron is at 35 years old, he should be in the running because he's doing it for. No, you didn't even take into account that AD could have made a case for himself being the MVP candidate with leading in all stacks except assists, but he didn't because he knows the value of LeBron James and he's winning them every night and he sees how much easier the game is. Now, this is two players. Now, one is on LeBron James' team, but another one in Dame Lillard that is also co-signed and said that LeBron James should be the MVP, and you still fighting it. You go into these Wilt Chamberlain numbers that Giannis is putting up and the PER. Who is PER? What's his name? Who came up with it? I don't want to hear nothing about no PER. The eye test.
You want to hear about points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals?
The eye test shows me that LeBron James is the most valuable to his team. And I told you this yesterday. Giannis is the MDP. I'm going to repeat, the MDP, the most dominant player, but he's not the most valuable player. Go ahead, Spears.
Go
ahead.
Well, to that point, KP and Max, I understand your argument. I understand your argument tremendously, Max, on Giannis. And really, you could just say we will dissolve the argument at the fact that he's leading in these categories and he's doing what he's doing. But I don't want to dissolve the argument there. The problem that I have with the MVP voting is this, Max. I'm gonna take you all the way back to the NBA Finals between LeBron and the Golden State Warriors. Everybody in the world knows that LeBron was the most valuable player in that series, even in a losing effort. So that watered down the MVP trophy or how they pick or determine that for me going forward. Now, here's what I will say, and this has been my argument with you about LeBron, about when we've talked about Kawhi, now that we're talking about Giannis. Who makes the game easier for the people that they're around and still performs at a high level individually? That's been LeBron James for almost the last decade. We could honestly give this dude trophy when Harden won it. We can give it to it when Russell Westbrook was averaging a triple-double. Because I look at all of the things that they were doing, and I say to myself, if LeBron wanted to echo or if he wanted to do these things that these guys are doing, he could. His value in the NBA since he started, honestly, which has been the most prolific thing about his career to me, is his ability to make other guys look way better than they are at playing the game. The pressure that KP just talked about, he takes off, with also putting up numbers, a career average of 27, 7, and 7. Like, we not talking about a guy that we comparing Giannis to some dude that just had a once in a lifetime, because you like using the lifetime achievement. We're not talking about a guy in that comparison that's having one killer season, and now we have to put him in the conversation. We all know LeBron makes everybody better. We all know LeBron makes teams instantaneously better. Like, this season alone, the most valuable player to his team and in this league has been LeBron.
It's been Giannis. But let me say this, just in case you guys get it bent, don't get it twisted. Here's my LeBron James stance. I agree with everything you said. He deserved the MVP when Harden got it. He deserves the MVP when Westbrook got it. He deserved the Finals MVP a couple times on losing teams, including against the Warriors. You take the Warriors 6 games and Matthew Dellavedova is the second best player. Get out of here with anyone as MVP but LeBron. The first time KD won MVP in the Finals against LeBron. LeBron was clearly the best player in the series and the most valuable. He should have been MVP. And if you do that in the Finals and you're neck and neck with guys in the regular season, you're the best player in the league, you're the MVP. LeBron should have like 10 MVPs. So don't get it twisted. I'm not anti-LeBron. This debate right now is who's the MVP of the league so far this season. It's Giannis, guys. Even if you want to throw out the numbers, which all say Giannis is better offense and defense, even if you want to throw out the team record that says Giannis is better, show me where AD is on the Bucks. He's not playing, or even okay, he's kind of a big. So Chris Middleton ain't AD, and I know he has a better supporting cast otherwise, but you guys still haven't answered this point. In the history of the league, you put two top 5 guys together, they're going to do roughly what the Lakers are doing right now. So you're giving LeBron all types of extra credit for making the game easier. So give the MVP to a point guard every year for that. In that case, AD is not a point guard. He's a
the problem is,
big-ish, a 4 or 5.
Go ahead, KP.
You know what I have a problem with? I remember when Russell Westbrook won the MVP award, right? It was videos, it was conversations on networks and throughout shows that look how Steven Adams is boxing out and letting Russell Westbrook go get the rebound so that he can make sure he get his triple-double. We don't see that same energy with Giannis. I done watched on multiple occasions where Brook Lopez and Robert Lopez is doing all the dirty work, boxing out, and they like, oh, here, Giannis, go get it. Go grab it, Giannis. And if you go look up the stats, Max, since you're an Ivy League stat guy, go pull up them numbers about how Brook Lopez them boxes out and let Giannis grab the rebound.
Perk, I 100% agree.
4.5 rebounds. Okay, then. So that's why I'm telling you about don't get fooled by the stats and how valuable a player is to their team.
But even if you took those away from Giannis, LeBron's still not going to have better numbers than him.
It's what I've been